Hi, my name is Tyler with Electric Personal Training, and today we're going to be going over everything we have to offer on the current version of EPT Pocket Trainer out on the iOS App Store for free right now. This is version 3.2.0. This is going to be the last major update for a little while just because I am a student at the moment, and so my class schedule has gotten pretty busy, and I don't see many large updates coming. There might be a few fixes, but this tutorial should keep us up to date for quite a while here. Now we're going to go ahead and start with a blank slate. So I just went ahead and loaded this up from scratch. And I'm going to go ahead and go over the tabs first. We have our 4 tabs. We're going to start with the muscles tab and work our way back to the workouts tab here. Now our muscles tab is going to give us 2 options. We can see our info view. We can learn a bit more about our muscular system. We can kind of see it's color coded and we can see a little bit of information as well as have links back to the YouTube channel. That is going to be our learn more button here. And we could do that for any muscle group in the body. And then we can go to our status view, which is all purple right now. But as we'll see once we get into the workout section, it is going to track our recovery. So when we work a muscle, it's going to get flagged based on how much it's been worked. If it's been thoroughly worked, it'll turn bright red. If not, it'll be somewhere between green and orange. And then it'll slowly fade back to green. And then if it goes too long without being worked out, it'll start to turn blue and then purple. So since we haven't worked anything yet, this is a fresh instance of the app. It is going to be all purple. But once we start working, it'll start color coding them and they'll start indicating our recovery. Now we'll go ahead and move to the movement library. The movement library comes with over 100 preloaded exercises for us to use when we're working out. These are going to be movements that are already logged by me and have what muscles they're working already preloaded. So that's going to be something that's already in the app and ready for you to use. Now, in every movement, we're going to have the option to enable or disable in the builder, which we will touch on later once we get to the workouts. And with the view progress button, we can see what the first weight was, what our current weight is, and what our highest weight is, so that we can see where we're at, as well as get rid of the movement if we don't like it. And you can even do this with the ones that I put in there, the preloaded library. If you don't like back squats and you just hate them enough that you don't want them in the app, you can delete them. And it's also going to allow us to use our machine learning algorithms to guess when we're going to reach our goals based on the data we have based on your training. Now, if you don't like my movement library or you have a movement that I haven't put in there, you can go ahead and add your own. Come here to the new tab and we can go ahead and make our movement. We can see a little bit about muscle involvement levels and muscle biasing, learn a bit more there. And then we can choose, let's say this is a leg exercise. It's going to involve the quads. And we're also going to involve the glutes like to work with the quads. So let's just go ahead and say we're going to involve the glutes as well. But the glutes aren't moving as much. They're going to be an accessory muscle. And that's going to allow us, we can add as many muscles up to 5 that are involved here. Let's just go ahead and add calves because we can. Maybe those are just a stabilizing muscle. And this is going to tell the app how to track your recovery. That is, how much during this movement are we using each muscle here so that we can see when it's recovered, when it's fully worked. And we can go ahead and add this here. If we go to our leg exercise, it's going to be grouped by the primary muscle. So since we made it a quad exercise, it should show up right here. And as we see, we also have the button to include or disclude in the builder. If you put in your own exercises, the builder will use it. And again, we'll touch on the builder in just a moment here. So we'll go ahead and close this up and head over to our settings. Now, as far as settings, we can choose our desired difficulty. Now, we're defining difficulty in the form of RPE, or rate of perceived exertion. That is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how hard did you work? 10 being couldn't do any more. That was absolutely all I could give. 1 being I'm kind of wasting my time. So we're kind of going to choose here where we want to be. It's going to give us suggestions on whether to go up in weight, up in reps, that kind of thing. Now, we can also turn on our advanced muscle view, and this is for individuals who are more versed in understanding the muscular system and what we need to be thinking about when we are doing strength training. That is, the different parts of each muscle. Are we looking at the upper lats or the lower lats, the long head, the short head of the bicep? Those kind of things are going to show up if you turn on the advanced muscle view. If you're not super well versed in that kind of stuff and you just want to know what general area, is it upper back or is it my lats? Is it my biceps or my triceps? Then you can go ahead and turn that off and do what works best for you. Tips, cues, do's, and don'ts will allow you to see a few tips and tricks on how to do the exercise when we are doing an exercise. Just a few things to think about to engage the right muscles. And the trainer suggestions are going to come from more machine learning principles that are going to learn how you train and how you progress through weights, and use that to recommend specific amounts of reps and weight. Now, the tips are going to recommend kind of a general, okay, let's go up, let's go down, let's do this, let's do that. But the trainer suggestions are going to be actual numeric values. So we'll go ahead and turn that on. We're not going to be able to see it here just because it does require you to log a decent amount of sets first before it can do anything, because it wants to learn how you trained first, and then it'll start suggesting. Now, if we go ahead and allow notifications here, we have more options. We can enable workout notifications. So it'll bug us if we don't work out for a while. It'll start pinging our phone every couple days saying, hey, it's been a while. You kind of got to get a workout in. Hey, it's been a while. You should probably get a workout in, that kind of thing. So if you tend to forget about working out, if it just doesn't make itself into your schedule, it can be very helpful to turn these on. Now, additionally, we have the muscle notifications, and this will bother you if you go too long without working a muscle. So we tend to see decreases in strength in muscles in the 2 to 3 week range. And on the side of caution, we're going to go ahead and ping you every time you go 14 days without working a muscle at all. So it doesn't mean that you're working it to its fullest intensity, but it means you're not working it at all. Maybe you skipped leg day 2 weeks in a row and now your quads are turning blue on the muscle status view. You're going to get a notification if you have muscle notifications on. Now, for those of you who take creatine, daily creatine notifications are an option. So you can turn these on, and every day you will get a notification telling you to take your creatine. Creatine is a supplement that is taken daily and is only effective if you take it consistently. So in order to really boost that consistency, you can turn these on, get bugged every time you skip your creatine, or if you don't, it'll just ask you, hey, did you take your creatine today? And you can go ahead and make sure that you did. That's going to be it for our settings view here. And then you do have the option to clear your workouts if need be. Now, fair warning, if you do delete your workouts, it clears all of them and will lose all of the data. Just something to be aware of. It's not just going to free up the workout screen. It is going to get rid of all of the data. So the trainer, trainer suggestions will not work because they won't have as much data anymore, and you'll have to restart filling up that data. Now let's go to the big reason we're using the app. That's the workout logs. That's the whole function of the app. The other three are really just settings and info. So we have two options here in the workout tab. We have the builder and we have the custom. So we're going to start with the builder. The builder is going to allow us to choose a split. So we're going to say, let's do a push day. Now we're going to say do 7 exercises. And we're going to click build. Now it's going to give us some options, and you pick from here. You're going to be able to pick whichever one you like. So let's say we want to do some high to low flies. We want to do some machine flies, and then we want to do an incline dumbbell press. This is going to work the lower, middle, and upper chest. And then we are going to have, let's see, let's do a dumbbell skull crusher and a unilateral cable push down. These are going to work the lateral and medial heads of the tricep, and then the long head of the tricep. We also have for the shoulders, for the front delts, we're going to do a front raise, and let's do a dumbbell lateral raise. So it's going to keep track of which parts of each muscle, even if you don't have the advanced muscle view. It's going to take into account what you've worked a lot lately. So if you've been doing a lot of tricep exercises that are unintentionally biasing one or the other, then it's going to take that into account and give you more that bias than when you're not hitting. So it's not that you need to even understand the concept of muscle biasing, or you need to even take it into account in your workouts. It will do it all for you. So if you want to have it take care of that for you, just use the builder. It'll give you which exercises you should be doing. Click build, and it's going to give us our template here. Now, once we go in, we have our exercise view, and the exercise view is going to allow us a lot of options. So firstly, if we don't like this, we can always change it. So we can change it, and I'll just go ahead and put it back where it was. It's going to be our high to low fly. And we can add sets. We can see a video tutorial. This will take us to the YouTube channel and show us how to do the exercise. We have our tips, tricks, do's, and don'ts. Here's an example of one of each. And here's a cue, a do, and a don't. Things we don't want to do, things we do want to do, and things to think about to engage the right muscles. And these are expanded more upon in the tutorial videos. And here's our tip here. We need to log a few more to kind of get an idea of where we should go from here. We can also add notes. So if I were to say something like, we're using the hammer strength machine. I don't even know if they make a fly machine, but we're just going to say that because it can be machine dependent. If you're going from machine to machine, it can be different weights. So let's say we want to add that. Now we can go ahead and add our set. Let's say we're doing 12 and we're going for 15 reps, and it's about a 7 on the difficulty scale. And then here we see we need more information. So then maybe we go for a 12 and we go for 15, we go to 8, and then we go for 12 and then we hit 15, then we go for 9. This is going to be how we log our sets. That's all you have to do. Tap, tap, done. The idea is that it's extremely quick when we're doing this kind of thing. Now, if I decide after hitting this, I go, you know what? Maybe this was actually a 6. I can always go in and change that just by tapping it. You can go in and change your settings for each set, and that will be all right. And you can do the same with the notes. We can go ahead and edit here, and then we can put it back in. Now, you might be thinking that you want to add or change something about your builder workout, and you absolutely can. Like I said, you can always switch out the exercises already in there. But even more so, you can still add exercises just like we would on a custom template, which I will show you in just a moment. We can go ahead and add any exercises we want to. So we want to say add some core, we can go ahead and add a side crunch here, and it'll just show up in our exercise list. We can also add cardio if we want to. It's going to be the same mechanism as adding the exercise, and we'll have a built-in timer too if we want to use the timer in the app. So I'll go ahead and finish and add this to the log. And now if I go to my muscles, all of my push muscles are red and the obliques from doing those side crunches. So we have the side crunches and we have the chest, the shoulders, and the triceps are all bright red. And that's because we just use them in that workout. Now our second option is going to be our custom. And this is for those of you who are more advanced in your training and understand how to put together a good workout, or just want to put together your own workout. It'll still do everything just like the builder. It's just not going to give you that template that we started with the builder. So we can go ahead and title it however we want. And you can do this with the builder as well. You can change the name, but it kind of puts it in automatically based on your split selection. And we can add cardio or exercises just like we did before. So we can go to add our first exercise. And here's where the power of Pocket Trainer really shows. So we're going to be adding our high to low fly. And right here, we can see exactly what we did last time. Typically, when we're doing exercises in the gym, what we're most concerned with is what we did last time. Are we getting stronger? Are we pushing more weight? Or are we doing more reps? Is it getting easier? Because sometimes our progression isn't always picking up the next set of dumbbells or doing more reps. It's just that the same exact sets are a little bit easier. Sometimes, especially when we get more advanced, it's just that it's a little bit easier workout to workout, moving the same weight for the same amount of reps. So this is going to be valuable for us seeing this, and this will give us up to 3. So we'll have the history of 3 different workouts where we did this exercise. Now, because of the way this is set up, it doesn't matter when the last time we did this exercise would be. So if I did high to low flies over a year ago, these sets are attached to the high to low flies, so I'll see them next time regardless. And that way I always have access to it, which gives us an advantage over writing things down on a book because we don't have to flip back through a ton of pages. It's always going to be right here, our last few sets. And it'll be 3 workouts worth once I log 3. So if I go ahead and log this one here as just a blank one, finish and add to log, I open another one, and I do my high to low fly. I see my second one, and I can add a set as an empty one, finish and add to log. And then if I go in, I see all of my different sets that I've done over my last 3 workouts, all in here, including my notes. So this is going to give me as much information as I need to decide what weights and reps I should be doing if I'm doing my own programming. Otherwise, I'll have the trainer recommendations and the tips and tricks to kind of recommend what I should be doing from there. And that is going to be basically the most useful part of the trainer if you're a more advanced trainee, is that you can do that. Now, a few extra things we can do. Let's say this push workout that our builder did. We liked it. The builder doesn't give us the exact same thing every time. So we really liked this one. We want to stick to this workout. Well, we can go ahead and come down and hit copy, and it will once again load for us that template. So this way we have everything pre-laid out, and we can go in and we can see our old stuff and go back out. And this is going to allow us to do everything we need to do in order to reproduce that workout without having to retype everything in, which can get a little bit annoying. So if you really want to get a workout that's the same, you can go ahead and just hit that copy button and it'll take care of it for you. Now you can also go in and delete your workouts. There's not really a whole bunch of value for that. If you want to delete them just to get them out of your way, you can. However, it's not really going to change much as far as your actual logs go. It will move all of your sets so that if one of your last sets was included in there, it'll clear it. But other than that, the delete workouts is not something you really need to be doing. That's going to about cover everything that this app is going to do for you, and going to give you a lot of options for tracking your workouts, for getting new workouts, and for making sure that you're getting as much progress out of your workouts as you can. That's really the purpose of this, as well as being easy to use. It's tap, tap, tap log. There's no long typing unless you add notes, which is completely optional. There's no digging through pages, looking back to your last workouts. It's all right there in front of you. All of the information you need provided right in front of you for you to use to make the best workout you can possibly make. So if you're looking for a new way to track your workouts, if you haven't given it a shot yet, check out EPT Pocket Trainer on the iOS store. Version 3.2.0 is available now, completely free, and waiting for you to use it to track your workouts and get the most out of your gym time.